Pisces, welcome to your monthly reading for November 2025. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You know we're going to jump right in. And if you are new to my channel, I'm going to give you your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do your full spread. Then we break it down week by week. We'll pull more cards. Then we do the second spread. Now, if you also saw my November astrology overview, which I'll leave at the end of this video, you're welcome. You'll know that this month is bananas. Okay, this is going to be a month, and Pisces, first I gotta just say I get really excited when I do your reading. You know, you're my sacred crush. If you're a subscriber, you know I'm here for you. I'm always here for you. I love my Pisces. And there you go, there's my Pisces tattoo. But also because a lot of my close friends are Pisces, and I like to track and just see what's happening, and I love I don't know, that had to come out. Okay, now Pisces, here's the other thing. Look at what's happening, right? When I say this month is bananas, look at it's all transits and retrogrades. Yeah, there's more in the back. Yeah, we'll get to it. But remember what I also said last week. There's so much energy and aspects spilling over from October. And so you're still going through your radical transformation. And that actually started over the summer with the Prism portal. And if you don't know what that is, I'll leave that video at the end of this video, what you can expect for the next 2 years for you Pisces with this rare grand trine that nobody on earth has ever experienced. It's a big deal. We're in the middle of it right now. Your life is changing. Your life is changing enormously. You just went through September, the eclipse season. You had an eclipse in your sign, okay? You had a lot of surprises and twists and endings there. That's what I'm saying. Pisces, y'all are going through change. And I've got really good news for you. So buckle up, get some popcorn. This is gonna be a ride. Now, that intense, passionate energy that you were feeling as part of your transformation from October, oh yeah, expect to go deeper, more intense, more passionate. But you're gonna hit this slow burn, all right? You're gonna love it, okay? Trust me on this. It's gonna be really nice, and that's because of the retrogrades. We have 5 of them, and those are only planets. When we get to your weekly forecast, yeah, we'll bring in Chiron, we'll bring in everyone else. But listen, they are good for you, all right? Like turmeric pills, all right? But this month is a little complex, so what I'm going to do is for this forecast for November, we're just going to focus on this, okay? And yeah, I threw in some aspects. Look at what's happening. Look at what's happening. Your ruling planet. Come on. So we're going to focus on the retrogrades. We're going to focus on the transits, major lunations, because I want you to see them as chapters of your life story. You are going to feel November like you've never felt a month this year. This is going to be big. You're going to see really big shifts, and you, out of all the sides, you're going to get some relief. You're going to like what's happening here. All right. So just keep that in mind. There's also nearly 40 aspects this month. When I say this is a month, it's a month. And those are just planets, by the way. All right. So we'll break them down week by week. Just know, again, slow burn. That's all you really have to know. All right. The other thing is November is going to feel a little deja vu-y. And when I say that, you're going to feel a lot of what's happening this month feels like the beginning of this year. Okay. That's why I say November will feel a little deja vu-y, because on top of that, at a sheer coincidence, a lot of the aspects that are happening this month are going to be repeats of those times of yore as well. All right. So you can bet November will feel a little deja vu-y. Did you get that? See what I did there? Anyway, you are also coming out of this wild vortex the past few months. Okay. November it's going to be about your internal change. And here's the thing for y'all, when you get to the end of the month, that internal change, whoosh, outward. All right. Just please use this month to reflect, to refine a lot of things. You went through a lot. And there's a lot that's happening for Pisces. A lot of y'all moved out of the blue. Some of y'all moved. You're like, what? Now you got to get settled in. You got Uranus leaving your 4th house. We'll talk about it. Look, remember what I said? Aspects rolling over from the end of October, from October, you got Jupiter trine Saturn, and that's going to perfect Pisces. Saturn's in your sign. Jupiter's your ruler. When I say you're going to see big changes, trust me, you're going to see big changes, all right? And this is all about your growth and stability for your long term, okay? So really, really nice. But it is November, and it is 2025 as well. So what else could you expect? A lot of surprises, urgent decisions, dramatic pivots, and your radical revolution. Yep. Now, Tuesday, November 4th, Mars will move into Sagittarius. So if you are here for career, are you wearing your party hat? You got Mars moving into your 10th house of fame, career, public recognition, honors, achievements. And you know Mars, right? You know Mars, action, drive, determination. Yeah. Leaving its intense domicile of Scorpio, which was still very nice for you, to be honest, but now blazed up in a fiery fire sign of Sagittarius. All right. So this is going to be really big. And even if you're not here for a career, this is all about your reputation. The 10th house is very public facing. You have not had this 2 years. Okay. So very exciting. Very exciting. I have friends that have been going through a lot of career moments. Okay. We'll keep it light. So they're excited for this. The other thing is, this is Sagittarius energy. You're going to feel this. You're going to feel very spirited. You're going to be seeking adventure. And a lot of y'all are going to be seeking that in terms of career, in terms of how can I be recognized for what I do. A lot of you are going to maybe go back to school, learn some things, take online courses. A lot of you are going to become the teachers as well. But I love this. I love that it's happening November 4th because it sets your determination for the month. And again, you have this for 2 months. This is all about seeing the big picture. So again, big focus on your reputation and career. It is very, very public facing. Okay. Now, the other thing is it's very happy-go-lucky too. It's Mars, right? In Sagittarius. So this is also, a lot of you are going to have really deep moments in terms of, I want more. I want more. Not only in your path to enlightenment, that's just Sagittarius energy. Yeah. Remember, Jupiter also rules Sagittarius too. You and Sagittarius, right? So Jupiter is going to be very active this month, but you're just going to be seeking more. And a lot of that will have to do with, again, your career and reputation. Now, here's the thing. Right off the bat, Uranus, because he is moving into Sagittarius, is going to, okay, with Mars. FYI. So there may be something really surprising around this time. Now, Wednesday, November 5th. Remember, we're going to break these down a little bit more next week, all right? But November 5th, you got, with home and family. Okay, there may be something like a tug of war. There may be like you get your dream job, but you have to move to, Kentucky, whatever it is, right? There may be something here. Now, the other thing is November 5th, we have a full moon in Taurus, 8:20 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. This one's strong. All right, very potent, not only because the moon happens to be exalted in Taurus, but it's bookended by one of the most challenging aspects, which is the Mars-Uranus opposition that I just spoke of, and one of the best aspects of the month. Very interesting full moon. It's also very unpredictable with Uranus in the mix, all right? So keep that in mind. This full moon is a wake-up call. That's what Uranus is. He's a great awakener, right? Brings restlessness to stability, to finances, your values, material possessions. Now, it doesn't have to be like big jolt or anything. It can be just a wake-up call. Like, oh, actually, I'm going to change this about my life, right? The reason why this may be pretty big for you in terms of you seeing something in the very different way is because Taurus rules your 3rd house of the mind and communication, meaning it is very likely you're going to receive some news around this time, or you are going to be making some announcements. Just know there may be some surprises. Okay. Like when Patricia Arquette turned down A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Stranger things have happened. Okay. Pisces. Now, I want you to think back to April 27th of this year, to the corresponding new moon in Taurus. So there was a lot happening around that time, something from around that time that has to do with communication, agreements, something that you maybe signed, something that had to do with siblings or even neighbors or even travel. There could have been something that you launched around that time as well, okay, with that new moon in your third house, something that it was monetizing. Maybe you started doing something on social media. Third house is also like PR, marketing, advertising, all that, right? So there we go. There's something here. There's maybe some adjustments that you're going to make, but just know this is a very strong full moon. It's potent. It's illuminating something here. And it does feel like a portal because you see what's coming up. All right. So just know there is going to be a little adapting around this time. The good news is that Mars will sextile Pluto. Yeah, so that is an aspect that's happening at the same time as well. And again, something here with career. Big. This is one of my favs. Yeah, what am I? It's the two power planets. It's Mars and Pluto. They're like a wrecking ball to anything that's in your way for what you want, but you've got to use it. All right, Pisces. Now, the other thing is that where are we? Venus. Oh yeah. You see October 6th. You see Venus moving into Scorpio. So this is gonna be a big deal. Yeah, it is a big deal. It's Venus in Scorpio. She's like wearing, knee-high boots at this point, right? In Scorpio, she's left her little comfortable castle in Libra in her domicile into the deep waters of Scorpio. But you handle it well, right? Scorpio, your BFF, fellow water sign. So again, this is intense energy. The reason why is it's not just Venus and Scorpio, which brings intensity when it comes to love and relationships and money and your desires and your burning desires. Yeah, it's a flaming heart emoji. You got Mercury, you have the Sun, and now you have Venus, all in Scorpio. You have a stellium of inner planets. You feel these, okay? You really, really feel these. They're driving your transformation. That's Scorpio energy. And for you, again, this is your ninth house. So a lot that's happening this month for you is up here. It's upstairs. Thinking new ways, seeing the big picture. But now this is also like, again, communication. It's a way that you're processing things. Things are going to change in terms of your transformation and what you want in love, in money, in creative projects, in creativity, in beauty, harmony, everything that Venus represents, okay? And when I say that intense energy, Soha, remember what it is? It's that detective energy. Oh, y'all are going to be really seeking some answers. It's your ninth house, right? Ninth house is all about expanding your mind. It's Jupiter's home, okay? So all about expanding your mind, broadening your horizons, and even taking risks, even taking with everything that's happened for you. Yes, absolutely. Remember what I said last month. What are you willing to endure for what you desire? That's what's happening right now with this stellium in Scorpio, and we will have a stellium in Scorpio all month. So that's more than three or more planets in a sign. All right. Now the other thing is that yes, it's still secrets. All right. So all of this Scorpio energy, if you're new, I talk more about it, in your last week's reading. There's got to be some secrets here. There's got to be a lot of things that for you, it is going to be a lot of you recognizing some things that need to change. And with all the Scorpio energy, you're going to do it. Nothing's going to stop you. You're like, 0 Fs. I'm going to make these changes. Okay. The other thing, secrets coming out. With Venus and Scorpio, yeah, a lot of your belief system, even there's a sense of like self-belief, having this strong, intense desire to have this confidence and to be able to see things in ways that you need to see them, okay? It's like all those things that were in your blind spot, gone because you got this detective energy now. And it's also, when I say secrets, it's being true to yourself, okay? Being honest with yourself, but also things in your physical world, right? Like you could reveal the secret lovers that you've been having on the side in your dreams or whatever, right? Your deep passion for candy corn. Anyway, from 20 years ago, and they're delicious when they're a little bit older. Whatever it is. Here's the thing. You're just going to be revealing a lot. You're going to be traveling too. This is the time when you see everything that's happening for Pisces. A lot of y'all, going back to school, learning something new, teaching something, expanding your mind, and travel. All right? Okay, we're going to talk about that. Just be very mindful. Venus and Scorpio, last thing for you, because it is in your ninth house. It is about belief system. There is a sense of like forcing your belief on someone else, all right? I'm not saying that you're going to do it, but this is a stellium in Scorpio. So keep that in mind. There is a little bit of like that villain comes out with Venus and Scorpio. Venus turns into a little, so, and when I say villain, honestly, like Tom from Tom and Jerry, okay? Not a big thing. Just remember, it is deep here. Venus and Scorpio, deep. She's got an edge to her. And Venus will square Pluto this day as well. So a really strong aspect. We'll talk about next week. Uranus is moving into Taurus again. That is, what is it? Friday. All right. So here's the thing. You remember Saturn and Neptune moved back to your side last month, right? So you've got them back. They've been in your sign since March 2023. They took a little break this summer. Now Uranus is doing the exact same thing. Uranus, the planet of breakthroughs, awakenings, surprises, unexpected innovation, the rebel, right? Moving back into Taurus, where he was at since May 2018. So, whoa. When I say deja vu, yeah, all the way back to 2018 now. And here's the thing. Uranus is going to be here until 2026. April 2026. Sorry. What is that? 6 months? The last of our lifetime. This is the last of our lifetime. So for a lot of y'all, it may be a little bittersweet. It may be a little bit, oh my gosh. Like, yeah, because listen, Taurus, y'all get along. You're a water sign. Taurus is an earth sign. So a lot of y'all may love this for the next few months. Again, Taurus rules your third house. Communication, networking. When this is happening, when you have Mars in Sagittarius, if you are, let's say, like even like a freelancer, getting a lot of assignments, or even career-wise, like a lot of moving up the ladder, there's great things happening, okay? Really great things happening. Because remember, Uranus brings those surprises, those unexpected moments that are really great. And for a lot of y'all, yeah, it's going to be a relief with Uranus out of Gemini, right? That's even temporarily. Because that Gemini's a mind. So that's, a lot of y'all had like mental breakthroughs, but, even breakdowns. That's what Uranus does. But if you had Uranus on your ascendant, wink, wink, okay? If you're Gemini rising, then you're very relieved for the next 6 months. But anyway, remember, Uranus is just, it's still retrograde. Yeah, just changing signs. All right? And like I said last week, when outer planets move, they move. You're going to feel this, okay? There's a little bit of a rumble here. And remember, you're still under the window with the full moon in Taurus. There's going to be some clarity, but there's also going to be some movement in the foundations of your life, even resources, things that you value, money, everything that Taurus represents, right? But also you got to throw in this communication, family. There's a lot of family energy happening with you, and then neighbors, maybe meeting new neighbors, because a lot of y'all moved. A lot of y'all are still going to move, especially when we get to April 2026. A lot of y'all are moving, but a lot of y'all already went through that moving part, or someone moved in with you, or there was something that was happening with your parents or your grandparents or your children or your significant other, or even real estate. A lot of you are thinking about property, buying property, selling it. But now, again, it's all about communication, even signing things, writing up agreements. Third house is also like writing. It's creative writing. Social media may be a thing for you. Now, here's the thing. It's great that Uranus is retrograding from Gemini to Taurus, because why? Uranus and Gemini expanded your mind, expanded your consciousness, brought in all these innovative new ideas, all this change. It changed the way that you thought about things. It brought in more creativity too, as well. Remember, Uranus was trining Pluto. So you could have had really big psychic moments. You could have had some moments of healing too, recognizing I need to do some healing and I need to spend more time in nature. I need to spend more time being social. I'm holding a lot in. There could have been a lot happening, okay? But at the end of the day, you had these breakthroughs, all right, to become the best version of yourself. And a lot of these breakthroughs that you had were circumstantial. So congratulations, because these are personal revolutions, okay? And you throw in the fact that you've got a Scorpio stellium at the same time, the fact that Venus in Scorpio, Venus is Taurus's ruler. This is radical change that you're going to be seeking. You're going to be having conversations. You're, remember, zero F's. All right. Now, and this is for 6 months. Now, Sunday, November 9th, Mercury retrograde. There you go. All right. In Sagittarius. So I actually do not mind this for you. Obviously, Mercury retrograde brings the signature delays, miscommunication, travel delay. Mercury rules travel. So be mindful. It is Thanksgiving, right? So plan your hotels now. Pick your travel partners wisely. All of that. Do all that now. But here's the thing. Remember, Sagittarius rules your 10th house. Yeah. There's a couple things you've got to know here for you when Mercury retrogrades in Sagittarius. First, Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury is in a strange place in Sagittarius, right? Because Mercury rules Gemini. It's opposite sign. So Mercury's far away from home. Gemini is the mind. Sagittarius is more about your beliefs, your belief system. So once again, with all this going within, with all these retrogrades, you will be re-examining your beliefs and your belief system, all in the name of becoming wiser. A lot that has to do with career, all right? It's all about the big picture, all right? Remember that. It's big pick energy, okay? And here's the thing. A lot of you are traveling. You may be traveling back to places that, you love in the past, or a lot of people from the past coming back into your life as well, especially career. Trust me, you're gonna see former bosses, things like that, like come up in your emails. You may bump into them at Red Lobster. I don't know. There's got to be that happens for you. All right, a lot of career stuff, your reputation, things like that. The other thing is, for a lot of y'all, it could be you seeking out, like a boss that you had from 10 years ago when you were working at the pizza factory, whatever it is. Here's the other thing. Publishing, broadcasting, really big things for you. You may be going back to that book that you're writing, that fantasy novel that you're writing, whatever it is. Again, I like this Mercury retrograde. A lot of people always see the challenging sides of Mercury retrograde. They're always actually really good for you, okay? So as long as you use them. But be mindful of even tech delays, etc. Now, the other thing is, on Tuesday, November 11th, you have Jupiter going retrograde in Cancer. That's fine until March 2026. Yeah, it kind of feels like a lifetime because it is Jupiter, but at the same time is speeding up. What's happened? What? November? How did that happen? How are we in November? Anyway, this is good. Jupiter retrograde's great. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer in your 5th house. So what is happening here? You are going within to really spend time with personal development, growing internally, being honest with yourself, focusing on matters with home and family and the foundations, your foundations. It's very nurturing. It's healing. It's really great. It's connecting with your intuition, embracing it, all of that, all spiritual development, wisdom. It's really, really wonderful. It is in your 5th house. So a lot of this, you're going to spend some time with all these other retrogrades thinking about what brings you pleasure and joy. It's your 5th house. You're going to be thinking about your romantic situations. You're going to be thinking about your current relationships. You're going to be thinking about your family, your children, big time. You have a lot of family stuff, okay? You're also going to be thinking about your creative projects. You're going to be returning to creative projects. You're going to be spending time thinking about sex and kids and having kids, okay? It is the 5th house. Anyway, these are a lot of retrogrades. And at this point, you've got Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Mercury, and now Jupiter, all retrograde. So from this point forward, yeah, good time to downward dog, to book that wellness retreat. Okay, spend time in nature, jump in a pile of leaves and lay there for a long time staring at the stars. Okay, do it with your lover. It doesn't matter. With your dog, it doesn't matter. Spend some time with you. Okay, You, what do you want? Focus on your chakras, your chi, your prana. Turn up the notch. Do some breath work. This is your time. When I say take advantage of these retrogrades, this slow burn, you're going to be trying to. Here's the thing: you got Mars that's not retrograde going, oh, and you got all these retrogrades pulling you this way. Find that perfect balance. Now, the other thing is that, y'all are probably going to get something around this time too. You're going to hear something here around this day. We'll talk about it next week. You got Mars conjunct Mercury again. Remember, we had it twice last month. And this time we do have it in Sagittarius, though. Now, Sunday, November 16th. Yeah, you have the Sun trine Jupiter. We'll talk about it when we get to the weekly forecast. But just know, this is the luckiest day of the month. You've got the Sun trine Jupiter. Circle this day in your calendar. Not only this day, circle Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, just wait. Okay? I hope you're buckled up. Okay, I hope you're buckled up. We're about to talk about a couple things, but it's the Sun trine Jupiter. How amazing is this? So there is something here that's really, really lovely for you. Remember, Jupiter is your ruler, right? So Jupiter is bringing you a lot of good fortune and luck as well with this aspect. And you started feeling a lot of that Jupiter energy with Jupiter trine Saturn in your sign. So you're starting to see that stability form as of late October. Now, yeah, and thank you to everybody who has joined Great Awakener. You saw what I did in the, check it out, okay? Check it out, yeah. Look in the description box. Pisces, look at what's happening on Monday. You got the Sun trine Saturn in your sign. In your sign. I can't, this is, oh, okay. You're going to get that glare, but there you go. You've got the sun, that's supposed to be the sun. You've got the Sun trine Saturn and Jupiter. This is enormously special because you also have Mercury sextile Pluto this day too, by the way. But either way, you got the Sun trine Jupiter. You got the Sun trine Saturn. Remember, Jupiter trine Saturn. What does that mean? You have another grand water trine. And this is strong because this is perfected at the 20. All the planets are at 25. This is a package deal. Okay, with the day before, this day you're going to feel it. Days before, you're going to feel it pretty much the entire week as well. So that's the thing, Pisces. This is exciting. This is really wonderful. Everything here, love, joy, pleasure, family, children, your belief system, wisdom, your philosophies, your worldview, travel, all of that, off the charts. This is a water trine too. Remember, I've talked about these water trines or just grand trines in general in your last week's reading if you need a refresh. But the thing about this day, are you ready for this? If you're a subscriber, you know what I'm going to say. Yeah, the moon is going to be in Scorpio. All right. So the moon in Scorpio does bring a little bit more intensity on its own. Remember, you have Venus here. You have a stellium in Scorpio. So that adds 10 times the intensity. All right. I got to have this. I'm going to get it. So really, really nice. Just go for it diplomatically. You're going to get a lot that you want. But again, a lot of things, the way that you're seeing things are going to change because a lot of things circumstantially will change for you as well. It's like getting a new job at a new company, right? Seeing things in a different way. That's what, for a lot of y'all, is going to happen. Family stuff as well. Now, Tuesday, November 18th, Mercury leaves Sagittarius, moves back into Scorpio. So the planet of communication and thinking, this is kind of a big deal. Because Mercury's still retrograde, just moves into a different sign. But what does this mean? Now you got 4 planets in Scorpio. So that Scorpio energy, that deep, intense passion that you were feeling in October, you're still feeling it all month. And this day is going to be even more intense because the moon will conjunct Venus and Mercury will conjunct the sun. Look at what's happening here. There's something building up, okay? This Scorpio energy, again, it's more about you inner wisdom, your belief system. And that's why I really like this for you. You go well with Scorpio energy. Yeah. But secondly, all these retrogrades, okay, all in the name of becoming wiser. So definitely practice patience this month, especially with Mars and Sagittarius. When it comes to career, you're going to get things, okay? A lot of things, because a lot of this spills over into December. And yes, people from the past really coming back now, all right? So the other thing is that, secrets. There's still going to be secrets coming to the surface. Truth and being honest with yourself. And when I say being honest with yourself, be honest with yourself about circumstances, the way that you see things, your belief system. It's like spiritual bypassing, right? Is going to be, that's part of this ninth house energy. And so I'm not saying that you're going to do it or anything. I'm just saying, just be mindful, because that's us. You got 4 planets here in Scorpio, all right? Where it's all about things coming to the surface and emotional truth telling. All right. Now, November 19th or 20th, depending on where you live, new moon in Scorpio. We are definitely going to talk about this a lot more in your weekly forecast, but this one's at 28 degrees. It's there. It's strong. It's like a new moon with a shot of espresso. All right. Just like the full moon, this new moon will not be quiet. It is not a quiet new moon. You've got Mercury not only conjunct the new moon, but Mercury and the new moon opposite Uranus. Okay. Mercury will try Neptune in your sign, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love this. But this is a very emotionally charged up, all gas, no brakes, new moon. You basically have the grand water trine with the sun, Jupiter, and Saturn, meaning the new moon is now part of the grand water trine. And then, like I said, Mercury perfecting, a trine to Neptune. So the fact that you do have the opposition to Uranus, that may bring some things up. For you, there's going to be some conversations that you're going to have. Remember, Uranus is back in your 3rd house of communication. It's with a new moon, with a Mercury cazimi. Also, huge refresh, okay, of the mind. You see that's happening on the 20th, but you still feel it this day. So there's family energy. There may be some unexpected things with family. And remember, there can, with all these retrogrades internal, like you could have these like moments of clarity, these like spiritual awakenings on your own. 9th house is very spiritual. So you're good. It's a lot of like spiritual awakening this month for you, and breakthroughs. And with this new moon, like charged up compassion. Yeah. Now, why is this new moon? Yeah, I'm giving you something extra here. Why is this new moon for you, Pisces, even more significant? Well, Venus, right? Venus and Scorpio will be having a huge alignment with the nodes of fate. Rahu Ketu, North Node, South Node. All right. So what does that even mean? Venus and Scorpio will be trining the North Node in your sign, sextiling the South Node in Virgo. There's something fated with this new moon for you. Big time. All right. Want to talk about it? We'll talk about it. There may be something here where you may even honestly decide to like travel and never come back because you met the love of your life overseas. You know what I mean? Like there's so much, but we'll talk about it. All right. We'll break it down your weekly forecast. November 20th, you do have the Mercury cazimi. That's been building up. That's really great. This is when you have your true spiritual awakening at this point. Okay. A lot of things that you're processing this month, but the bigger highlight. Wow. I told you to buckle up, right? Are you jumping up and down? You see Uranus and Taurus got a sextile Neptune and Pisces. Come on. 29 degrees, critical degree, that anaretic degree. It's strong. It's part of the prism portal. Y'all know that. You felt it strongly in August, but it was in different signs, this aspect, okay? Remember, this prism portal, like I said, the aspects, you're going to have peaks for the next few years. We had a peak in August, but now this is the peak. It's the peak of 2025. It's like the perfection is down to the minute, basically. This is the biggest peak. And remember, both planets are retrograde, so a lot of this is going to be internal. So what does this even mean? You have Uranus and Taurus in your third house, sextiling Neptune in your sign. Remember, Neptune moved back into your sign. All right? So, out of all the signs, wow, you're really going to feel this change. Big time. You're changing, okay? We have never had this aspect. Okay, so this aspect, the magnitude of this aspect, first, it's generational. They're really, really outer planets, right? We have not had this aspect since the late 1960s. It's been nearly 60 years. What happened in the late 1960s? Well, it was a huge revolution. It was a huge poetic movement, visionary movement. That's you. That's you, okay? With Neptune in your sign. Sextiling Uranus and Taurus, the third house. You got a megaphone, you got a microphone, you got things to say. This is your big breakthrough. Remember, third house is also the mind, yeah? So, a lot that have to do with your values. They're going to start changing, especially from the beginning of the month with a full moon in Taurus. And you have this Mercury Cazimi. Just expect a really big epiphany around this time, okay? And pay attention. It's a big cluster of dates where there's a lot happening, all right? It's generational what's happening here. You're going to be feeling it for many months, but this, again, is the peak. Now, Friday, November 21st, we move into Sagittarius season. A lot of you are getting new jobs, new careers, starting your own businesses. You're becoming famous like Rihanna, yes, fellow Pisces, or Einstein. Pick your favorite Pisces. Now, the other thing is November 22nd, and that's going to be for the next 4 weeks. Huge concentration of energy in your 10th house of career, fame, reputation. Remember, you've got Mars here. You see what's happening at the end of the month. You're about to get Venus there too, so you're going to get what you want, all right? November 22nd, we'll talk about your weekly forecast. Mercury is going to have, you have another grand water trine with Saturn and Jupiter. What? So there's a lot of great movement for you. A lot of, like, your life is changing, all right? November 24th, oh, yeah, we'll talk about your weekly forecast. That's when we have Mars squaring the node. So this is when it's like, wow, there's really something happening with career in a really big way. And partnerships and relationships. Okay, faded. It's Mars bending the nodes. So Mars is like actually squaring the nodes. We'll talk about it in your weekly forecast. Think about what happened for you around July 20th. All right, that's the last time Mars did that. He's in a different sign. Yeah. Now, then you see November 26th. You have Venus now in a grand water trine. Do you see all like these are in your like they're in water signs. Saturn's in your sign. You are going to feel this with all the other water signs the most. This is truly special. This is Venus now with Saturn in your sign, Jupiter in Cancer, your fifth house of joy and pleasure and also love and romance. It's Venus. Okay? There's movement here. Also creativity and money and finances, all of that. Fifth house is also very entrepreneurial. Yeah. Now, gobble gobble. We got Thursday the 27th, Thanksgiving. Okay? Saturn finally going direct. Since July, he's been asleep. Retrograde. Yeah. And now he's direct in your sign. So this is kind of a big deal because you're going to start feeling that energy of Saturn. Remember, he's doing a check-in. What have you learned since March 2023, your birthday season? Yeah. What have you learned since then when Saturn was testing you on a personal level? He was in your sign. He was testing you. He's the authority. He's also Chronos. Don't forget, he's time. It just, there's something here in terms of longevity with all these grand water trines where, yeah, he's awake now. So he's going to be building things for you in a really big way. And then lastly, you've got November 29th. Oh, yeah, Mercury's direct. And then you've got Venus. Okay, so Venus is moving into Sagittarius, joining the Sun and Mars in Sagittarius. So, Pisces, are you excited? Are you excited? This is gonna be a month. All right, so let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you, Pisces, for November 2025. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh yes, Pisces. I think that let me see here. You are already good. You're gonna, but remember the retrogrades. You have to do the retrograde part. You have to go within. You have to do that internal, finding your inner wisdom, your inner truths, and knowing what you want. Doing a lot of reflection. It's almost like an end of year review too, as well, in terms of this entire bonkers year. What worked? What didn't work? What did you accomplish? What didn't you accomplish? What do you want to accomplish now? You got Mars and Sagittarius, okay? So really, really interesting, with Mars and Sagittarius, and you've got, the nodes and just a lot of mutable energy. Let's keep it that way. All right. Pisces, I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, give the best overview from monthly forecast. If we need to pull clarifiers, we will. And I love y'all. You've got, wow, whoa. Oh, look at that. I even forgot a card up here. Okay. This is a lot of just, wow. Clarity. Hello. Talk about that wisdom. Talk about, you see all that blue here. Very nice. Very nice. Wow. You got the King of Wands. Yeah. He is the entrepreneur. There's big movement in terms of career for y'all. All right. Changes too. But there's been a lot that you've been wanting. Go get it. The King of Wands. That's epitome of fire. Yeah. You have Mars and Sagittarius in your 10th house of career. All right. So go get it. Go get what you want. You can. You have whatever you want. You create your reality. Now, he knows that. He not only is the entrepreneur, the CEO, any of that, he is just so full of his passions. Yeah. Remember that Scorpio energy that you're going to be feeling that passion. You got to feel something, right? What did I say? What are you willing to endure for what you desire? He knows, right? He's ready to transform his life. In fact, this is someone who worked his way up. He's not sitting in this throne from lineage or, whatever it's called, succession, right? He earned his spot here, and that's what makes it more worth it. A lot of transformation that's coming on your way, but you've already feeling it. You already have this urge inside you. And again, if you're right for career, it's just your passions. A lot of creative energy here too, but it's all about your transformation. Phoenix rising from the ashes. A lot of y'all are moving on up in this leadership role in a big way. Okay? And by the way, and work is still a big thing. King of Wands is Leo, FYI. And remember, Leo does rule your 6th house of work. Anyway, Page of Swords and the heart of your spread. Remember I said maybe 1,400 times throughout your entire, first half, you're going to be seeing things new. You're going to be changing the way you're shifting, the way that you see things, your perspective. There you go. All right. Page of Swords. So there's something here that is really, it's almost like there's something really inspiring you. All right. Which I really love. But like I said, even circumstantially, you're going to be in new places in your life this month. It's just, look at what's happening, right? Look at what's happening. And so I love that. Page of Swords, that fresh new energy, just new perspective. He's like a sponge. He loves learning new things. He wants to learn how to wield that sword, becomes like a pro with it, but it's a Page of Swords. So there is, again, with Uranus moving back into Taurus in your 3rd house of communication, new communications, networking, all of that, having those important conversations, messages, right? Page of Swords, the messenger here. Y'all are maybe making big announcements too, but there's something new here that's really exciting up here. All right. Changing the way that you see everything in your life. You have the 3 of Wands here. Just go for it. What did I say about taking those risks? Just go for it. 3 of Wands. What did I say? That all this Scorpio energy in your 9th house, but then also Mars and Sagittarius, that's happening for you. That's a big deal. And you got the Sun in Sagittarius too. But what did I say? That was expanding your horizons. Okay. You see, it's all sky here. The sky's the limit. It's in your challenge area. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Go discover, go do things, go travel, go meet people, go, you know what I mean? Like that's we want to do that this month. So the bigger thing that's coming through though, yeah, you get 2 messages here. There's someone who may not be on board with the journey, the new one that you're going on. Okay? Maybe even an idea that you have. Maybe there's something there where there's someone who's just like, I'd rather just stay at home and just not talk about this. You're going to have those conversations. All right? Now, you have the 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands. So what does that even mean? It means, what did I say earlier? Your ideas, the new way that you're going to be seeing things are, okay? Make sure that they are, this is all about your belief system, right? Make sure that you do believe in what you believe in. Mercury will be retrograde, am I right? In Sagittarius, all about your belief system. And Venus will be in Scorpio. This card is attributed to Venus in Scorpio, your 9th house of your belief system and your worldview, right? Same thing here. All right, so you've got to know. You have to know. It's okay to be in those moments where you have to face your truths. You have to know, okay? And a lot of that will require going deep and working with these retrogrades. There's a little bit of smoke and mirrors here, but the good news is when you see what's happening here, for a lot of y'all, it is going to be, hey, I got some opportunities. I got some great ideas. There's all these paths that, are possible. I see them now. I've broadened my horizons, but you got to go for it. You got to stick with it. You're going to be fine, okay? No dilly-dally, all right? You have the 7 of Wands. And the root of your spread, that's really good. This is a card of valor. This is a card that's saying, nope, standing my ground. I'm standing my ground. You can't take this away from me. But here's the thing. Look at your entire spread here. There is something about being open-minded to what others are saying to you, okay? That's all it is. And it could be something very close, someone very close to you. It could be someone that there clearly is some sort of disconnect. And for a lot of y'all, it may be even travel. Like I said, choose your travel partner wisely. There may be something here where even if you're traveling, there just may be something where there's going to be some conversations to be had, but there's a little bit of defensiveness that's coming through in terms of what you want to do, your new ideas, your thoughts, your plans, which is great. You do you, all right? But there's a sense of opening yourself up to with other people that are very close with you. Now, the other thing that's happening here when you look at what's going on, well, 7 really is all about desire. It's a month of that, right? Yeah. So it seems like, remember, you're gonna get what you want. There are things that you want. You're gonna go for it. You're gonna get it. Okay. At the same time, there may be a little bit of the way that you get it. Let's do it diplomatically, right? You're Pisces, of course you will, but you see the people coming after this person, and he's just like, "What? You're still the successor, right? You're still the victor here. He's on the top of the hill." But there's a little bit of spirited energy, and that's all I'm saying. There may be something here with work. There may be something here with work or colleagues or employees, all right, where you may not be seeing eye to eye. This is a month you have to. And it may be in a new situation too. 2 of Pentacles in your future, all right? So there is some balance to be brought into your life based on this new way of seeing things, new perspective. We've got to make sure it's A, grounded, but B, it's connected with your physical world. Like what I said earlier, like things circumstantially, because you do have your 9th house activated in a really big way with the fact that Mars is in Sagittarius, okay? That's his home, right? Sagittarius rules the ninth house. And then you do have Jupiter going retrograde. A lot of that internal bit, all about expanding the mind. You've got Uranus moving into your third house of the mind. So again, this could be a very cerebral and spiritually awakening month for you. But you have to be connected the entire time. And then you're going to be good. Let's get to your stuff. Pisces, listen, we'll clarify some of those. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what is going on. You had your big change in September and October. So a lot of this is adjusting to a lot of those changes too. And you know, I love you. All right. So yeah, there's going to be some change. There's going to be change. You've got some change. You got the sun. Amazing. Listen, the sun is, it's the sun. The sun is vitality. The sun is a life force. The sun is this renewal. Yeah. This is seeing the brighter side of things. All right. The sun is optimism. It's high frequency. You even see the rays. They're literally frequency that's coming out of the sun. That's frequency, energy. So look forward to this rebirth. Remember, this is a month of death and rebirth. It's still that Scorpio energy and a lot of going within with these retrogrades. So you've got to know who you are when you come out on the other side. You've got the King of Cups here, external factors area. It does look like there is someone that is pivotal in a lot of the changes that are happening in your world. Remember, you have a lot of family energy and work energy, but more specifically, it would be like father figure. It could be a boss, male boss, but also it could be someone just kind of like a mentor as well. Someone who is just so heartful, someone with a lot of compassion, someone who's opening doors for you. It seems like there's someone who is really guiding you. Someone who's very emotionally stable, and maybe a Scorpio too, by the way. He is Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon. So that's really nice. Someone that's helping you see things in this new way. Ten of Swords. Yeah, that's fine. And if you are a cross watcher, by the way, you know the Ten of Swords it's I think every spread so far. Very interesting. Interesting because you do have the sun coming out in this card. It is the card of new dawn. And so this is just saying, yeah, when I said you're going to have a lot going on up here this month, there are some things you've got to just hit the road, Jack. Okay. Make room for the new up here. You've got the Page of Swords in the heart of your spread. Very possible, but there are some things that you're still holding on to. There's some things that you haven't really processed yet. You have to do it this month, okay? And a lot of it is like those truths that I was talking about. I mean, it is swords are truth, right? And so processing things where there's a difference between like convincing yourself that, you know, something is the way that it has to be and like believing it, right? So all about self-belief is this month. And then lastly, you have the Five of Cups and your final outcome. If you're a cross watcher, you'll know this card's come up a lot too. Five of Cups is actually attributed to Mars and Scorpio. So remember, Mars has left Scorpio as of November 4th. That was strong. You had it there for 2 months. With Mercury going back into Scorpio retrograde, a lot of events and circumstances from October will come up mid-month in November. Okay? There may be some things here that also, this card really is recognizing some things that you do have to let go. And because there's a lot of emphasis on self-belief, your belief system, the way that you see things, it's now, cups are emotions, right? So that's being processed. But again, you have to make that connection. Your intuition, your heart, your soul, all of that. Cups are intuition too. Not only just, you know, emotions and feelings. But there is something here where it really is, it's time. It's connecting the heart with the mind, having that mind-heart coherence. I'll clarify that. Yep. There you go. I'm not surprised you got the Hierophant. The Hierophant is all about wisdom. He's a spiritual leader. He's a spiritual warrior. He's a spiritual teacher. Look at what you're learning. So it looks like there's something here
where, yeah, emotional impact, there may be the ending of something, there may be something that you really love where it's like hard to say goodbye to. Yesterday, I did just quote Boys to Men, but then look, whatever that is, it makes you wiser. It puts you in this leadership role where you're that spiritual warrior. You harness all his energies. He's like a bridge maker himself. Therefore, the divine in our it's like physical world. So you even see the gray columns here, right? From Solomon's temple. You've heard of like the wisdom of Solomon. You got the keys. You got the keys. So whatever happens, it just, yeah, it puts you in a place where you feel more confident, where people listen to you, where you can impart your wisdom. Really great. I was going to look at that, the Two of Pentacles. Let's take a look, okay? Oh, blast off. Yeah. So it does look like there are opportunities here with that Two of Pentacles and even some adjustment from something that you may have moved into that's very new, right? Finances is going to be a big thing this month. All right. So pay attention to that with all this energy with Uranus. You also still have, mm, mm, yeah. There's gonna be money stuff. There's gonna be money stuff with Venus and Scorpio, with a stellium in Scorpio throughout the month. All right. Remember, Scorpio rules like inheritance, investments, and royalties. It's all about building wealth. All right. So that's still a thing that's happening all month. That carryover from October, but Knight of Wands really amazing because Knight of Wands is Sagittarius, and remember, by the end of the month, you're going to have a stellium in Sagittarius, but all that energy just whoosh, Mars is giving you that passion, that drive, and he's on a mission. Nothing's going to stop him. All in the name of, like, again, he wants to transform his life. Okay. With everything that he's passionate about. Now, let's break it down week by week. The first week, there's so much happening. You know that. I mean, Mars moving into Sagittarius. You got the full moon in Taurus. You have Venus moving into Scorpio. You've got Uranus moving back into Taurus. It's a big deal. You got so much. Let's just stop there. Let's see what's going on for you the first week. Oh, of November. Oh, you got a lot going on up here. Right off the bat. Look at that. Right off the bat. That's amazing. Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, passions, again, this is you. This is fearlessness, right? He's going into the storm. Look at the fire under his feet. You're going to be processing a lot. Like I said, you're going to be networking. You're going to have a lot of conversations, but you're going to just so much changes, right? And that's the root of what this month is like the way that you see something, your perspective, everything is shifting, everything is changing. But also in your physical world, remember, a lot of networking, a lot of people from your past coming back too. Now, let's see the second week. Speaking of which, that's when, on that Sunday, Mercury goes retrograde. In Sagittarius, Jupiter goes retrograde. You've got the sun trine Jupiter as well. Oh my goodness. With the fact that you've got that grand water trine with the sun trine Saturn is in your sign. Jupiter trine Saturn. Let's see what's going on for you the second week. Pisces, you are really good. This is when I say like everything is going to change, especially for you. Congratulations. You got the world. All right. And so the world, yeah, you made it to the end. You made it to the end of the Fool's Journey. Be very proud of yourself. By the second week, yeah, that's going to feel really good. And you know that there's just, when I say every transit, every retrograde, it's like a chapter in your life story. There you go. There's just a big new chapter coming through. A huge one. Anyway, the world is attributed to Saturn, by the way. So it's like around this time that you're going to start seeing everything start shifting. All right. In this new direction. Now, third week is when you've got Mercury moving back into Scorpio. You got the new moon in Scorpio. Ooh, that's a big one. The Kazemi, Uranus. Oh my goodness, exile Neptune in your sign. There's a lot. So we're moving into Sagittarius season. And then you got the Grand Water Trine with Mercury. Oh, there's a lot. Let's see what's going on the third week. Pisces. Hello. Yeah, your world is changing. Everything's changing. You see that? I love that. You got the Page of Pentacles. Truly something new rooting up in your life. You got the Page of Swords in the heart of your spread. You have the Page of Pentacles at the time of the new moon in Scorpio. Like, this is huge. This is really big. And in fact, I think that is when we actually do have Venus aligning with the nodes. We have that nodal axis. Like, that's pretty life-changing for you with the North Node in your sign. And it is just, listen, you're going through some big change because, again, at a sheer coincidence, you happen to have Saturn and Neptune and the North Node in your sign, okay? You didn't have that 18 years ago. Yeah, 19 years ago. So remember, there's cycles, the nodes and everything. But listen, you've got the Page of Pentacles here. There's a new job, new career, new money, source of money. There's something you're building here, something you're really enthusiastic about. Pentacles, remember, it could be a relationship too, partnership, because they represent your physical realm. It could be you buying a house, whatever it is. There's something new, all right, with finances, but also just think about your values as well. The last week, you've got Venus now in the Grand Water Trine. Saturn goes direct in your sign. You're going to feel that. And then you're going to feel Mercury go direct. You're going to feel Venus moving into Sagittarius. We'll talk about all of those in your weekly forecast. Let's see what's going out for you. The last week, Pisces. Oh, look at that. You got the Two of Swords. Big decision. You got to make some big decisions, but also you got to face your truths. You have to face your truths. And a lot of this is also acceptance, yeah? Because there is a sense of, like, even with that Seven of Wands here, you have that Three of Wands in your challenge area, you have that Ten of Swords, you have that Five of Cups, and that Seven of Cups. So there is something here, it's like being honest with yourself, but accepting your truths as well. That Two of Swords, there's something here where it's like, we got to take off this blindfold. We got to be able to see, yeah? Let things come out. Like I said, this is a month where you're gonna, don't hold anything in, basically, okay? Don't hold anything in. Let things come out. However you feel intuitively is the best way. Now, Pisces, thanks so much. Next week, we will go deeper in the aspects. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. And yes, second spread. We're going to go deep. We'll look at love. We'll look at career, health. But we're going to pull more cards. Listen, tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone is welcome to join really good and legendary members. We have so much fun. Look at all this blue. Again, this is all in the name of becoming wiser, right? And that's all it is. Making karmically sound decisions. These swords. You're ready to go. There is going to be some calm, with the retrogrades. Anyway, Pisces, I love y'all. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.